I would like to welcome you today to the 2016 Angels Night Volunteer Campaign News Conference. My name is Gary Bullock. I'm the District 3 Manager for the Mayor's Office, Department of Neighborhoods. Before we begin, I first would like to give a special thank you to David Miller and Heilman Recreation Center for hosting us today. Angels Night represents an important time in our city. It's when neighbors, businesses, and institutions join together to exemplify the spirit and pride that is uniquely Detroit by patrolling our streets and neighborhoods. It is our goal during this time to ensure that our children can enjoy community festivities while homeowners and businesses can thrive in a peaceful environment. The City of Detroit and its many partners have been successful in keeping Detroit safe on October 29th, 30th, and 31st. But we cannot rest on our previous successes and should remain ever vigilant, keeping a watchful eye over our city. There are several departments and businesses and authorities that help make Angels Night a success. The Detroit Fire Department and the Police Department are two critical partners whose roles as first responders ensure the safety and success of this project. I would like to invite Eric Jones, Fire Commissioner, to come up and discuss his department's mobilization efforts.
Good morning. Thank you. I have some information to share with you related to Angels Night Task Force, but before I begin, I want to take a moment to thank the first responders that will be away from their families during these 3 days. Many of these firefighters, medics, and police officers have missed several Halloweens with their families. These are moments that they can never get back, so let's give them a round of applause for their sacrifice. I also want to thank the volunteers who have patrolled our streets during this period for decades. Without you, we could not do this effectively. Let's give them a round of applause. The first piece of information that I want to share with you is the fuel dispensing ordinance. It has not been passed by City Council, so this is what will take place once it is approved. Beginning Thursday, October the 27th until Monday, October 31st at midnight, you must be 18 years of age to purchase fuel. Fuel can only be dispensed into approved fuel containers. There are 3 exceptions. Number 1, fuel for a stalled vehicle. Number 2, fuel for a generator. Number 3, fuel used to heat a residence. During this time, attendants have some additional responsibilities. The attendant must obtain the name, driver's license number, or state identification number of the person obtaining the fuel, location of the vehicle in need of fuel, and the address of the residents in need of fuel. And most importantly, if you have information that can help us prevent an arson or catch an arsonist, please call our tip line at 313-628-2900. I'll repeat that number, 313-628-2900. There is a $5,000 reward for the arrest and prosecution of an arsonist. $5,000. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Jones. The second essential partner is our men and women in blue. The Detroit Police Department at this time will also give some information about how they will be supporting this effort. I now present you Police Chief James Craig.
Good morning. Good morning. Not as tall as Eric, so I have to. Like Eric, I just want to start by thanking the first responders, certainly our men and women who wear this uniform, and certainly our firefighters, medics. Thank you for a job that you do each and every year. But let's talk about the holiday, and it really is a holiday. This is a family event, and I will tell you, nobody does it like Detroit. And so I'm excited as I now go into my third Angels holiday. I'm going to talk a little bit about curfew and just the Halloween events at the precincts. Now, I'm going to talk first about that because I will tell you the 12th and 11th precinct have some big activities. And we're going to be posting additional information about holiday events at our police stations. But the hay rides at the 12th precinct and certainly the haunted house at number 11. Did I leave anything out at number 5? Because I know you do number 9.
We do a Halloween party right here at the center, Chief. Right here at this center.
Okay, so Halloween party right here. And so every precinct will have police officers giving out treats to families at the neighborhood police station. So we're excited about continuing to do that. So what can you do? What can a community do to help us? Well, adopt a vacant property, certainly patrolling your block, and turning on your porch lights for added visibility. We could not do this and the successes that we've seen over the last year unless without the help of our community. So thank you so much for your commitment and your dedication to keeping this holiday a safe holiday. So let me tell you why this has been such a success. So we're committed not to criminalize our youth when it comes to curfew. So last year, 2015, we issued just 17 violations, no arrests. 2014, 24 arrests. 2013, 41 arrests. So again, it's not our interest to arrest young people. We're encouraging parents and guardians to take responsibility. So the curfew, it's not going to change. It was the same as it was last year. Saturday, October 29th at 6 p.m. until Sunday, October 30th, 6 a.m. Again, that's the 29th through the 30th. And then Sunday, October 30th, again, 6 p.m. through Monday the 31st, 6 a.m. So, and on the following day, the regular ordinance goes in effect. 15 years and old under curfew will begin, as always, at 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. And then 16 and 17-year-olds, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. So, again, when juveniles are detained, minors are detained, to the parents, guardians, just go to your local police station like we did last year. We will facilitate a safe return. So at the appropriate time, I'll take any questions that you might have. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Craig. So in addition to the outstanding support that Angels Night receives from the city administration, it could never have the type of impact that we would expect without our outstanding partners in the community. For a number of years, Detroit area companies have supported the efforts through cash donations as well as in-kind support. At this time, I'd just like to give recognition to some of our sponsors this year: Comerica Bank, Maritime Petroleum, Detroit Renewable Energy, represented by Denise Gardner, KEO and Associates, Miller Catfield Paddock and Stone, Pierce Monroe and Associates, and White Castle, represented by his district supervisor, Cheryl Collier, who have all been a great support to the effort. So let's give them a round of applause. Thank you, sir. And now I would like to introduce the 2016 lead sponsor for the Angels Night campaign from our business community, Mr. Earl Service, representing the McDonald's Detroit area franchise owners.
So first I would like to say good morning to everyone. My name is Earl Service. I'm one of the McDonald's franchise owners here in the city of Detroit. I'm actually the largest franchisee in the city of Detroit. McDonald's restaurant owners share a long history in giving back to the community. This is why the Detroit McDonald's owners, again, is the lead sponsor in the 22nd annual Angel Night campaign. We would like to thank our mayor and his administrations for their efforts in ensuring a successful Angel Night 2016. We would also like to thank the Angel Nights volunteers and first responders for their great work in making sure our community is safe. Again, when the community is safe, business is safe. That's why we love the Green Light program that we have here in the city of Detroit. I want to thank the mayor and the chief for making that happen. Our employees are now feeling safe in the city of Detroit, so thank you very much.
Again, thank you to Mr. Service and all our business partners who this effort would not be as successful without. So the last Angels Night partner I want to talk to you about is you, the citizens of the city of Detroit. Much of the success we have had through Angels Night is attributed to the thousands of residents who volunteer to patrol their neighborhoods, watch a vacant home or building, report suspicious activity, or simply turn on their light. Last year, over 5,000 residents volunteered in some way to support Angels Night, and we're hoping to surpass that number this year. So here's how you get involved. You can go to www.angelsnight.org and fill out the volunteer information form, and you'll be contacted. You can call the Department of Neighborhoods hotline at 313-224-4415 and let the volunteer coordinator know that you're interested in serving. Or you can report on October 29th, 30th, or 31st to any one of the 7 volunteer deployment locations throughout the city, and the district manager at that site will sign you up and a partner to patrol the area. So this effort is emboldened and enriched by your participation, so we're looking for those numbers to rise this year. Now I'd like to introduce a community partner who, like many of you, volunteers for Angels Night year after year. He does his part to make the city safe. He leads a block club organization of over 1,200 homes. He's a part of the CB Patrol that patrols their neighborhood regularly, and just an all-out giving person to the city of Detroit and its efforts. I'd like to introduce Mr. George Preston, the president of the Mohican Region Homeowners Association.
Thank you, Mr. Bullock, and also I want to thank all of our dignitaries for coming out to our community. I just want to say, first of all, as a resident of this community, all of us want to feel safe, and all of us want a nice, clean neighborhood. Now, the police can't be everywhere at all times in our community, but if we multiply our efforts, we can be all over the community. So as a community organization, the Mohican Regent Community Organization have partnered with the Regent Park Community Organization and also Man Network, who is also here. We are going to be out patrolling throughout our neighborhood to make it as safe as we possibly can. We're just going to be the eyes and ears of our community. We're not going to engage anyone unless say someone was to fall out there injured or something like that. As a good Samaritan, we're going to get out and do what we can to help that person. But all we're going to do is observe and report whatever we see to the community. And all of us being out here, 2 things will happen. First of all of our neighbors are going to see us out here pretty much at all times, and it's going to help them feel safer in our community. And also it'll alert the wrongdoers in our neighborhood. We want them to know that we're watching them. So hopefully that'll stem some of the things that they hope or had planned on doing. Now, again, all we're asking is a whole lot of us to each do a little bit. Either you're going to patrol, we're hoping you're going to patrol in your neighborhood, or if you're just going to patrol on your block, or just sit out on your porch, just watch that vacant property in your neighborhood. Again, we're just being the eyes and ears for the community. And lastly, I just want to mention too, now we do this and we watch, the chief told us some of the statistics of these past few years. If we continue to do this, not only during this 3-day period can we do this, this is something that we can do all year long, just all of us working together. Again, thank you.
We want to certainly thank Mr. Preston and the Man Network and our other community partners for all the work they do. They do this out of their love for the city and don't ask a lot in return. So each year under the leadership of Mayor Duggan, we have changed the conversation about Detroit, its residents, and its future. He also charged the team as we began looking at Angels Night to make sure the focus changed. Under the leadership of Charlie Beckham, Group Executive for Neighborhoods, Vicky Kovari, General Manager, Ray Solomon, Nicole Simmons, and Aaron Harris, the Department of Neighborhoods has been working with our partners in police, fire, and the community to engage residents on another level. We want to put the fun back into this time of year. We're encouraging residents to take part in many of the various Halloween activities that are going to be happening through the city, either at your local police precinct or fire department or neighborhood recreation center. All this information will be available on www.angelsnight.org. And now I have the honor to bring to the podium the mayor of the city of Detroit, Mayor Mike Duggan, who will discuss the importance of Angels Night and field your questions. Mayor Duggan.
All right, well, good morning. I want to start by thanking the fire department, the police department, all of the city employees who volunteered, our sponsors, the community groups, for an extraordinarily successful Angels Night in 2015. The results were remarkable. 52 fires over a 3-day period. Not only is that the lowest number as far as we have records. It's 50% below the lowest number. Detroit is starting to succeed, and I was out all 3 nights driving every corner of the city, and in those 3 nights, the only orange lights I saw were the flashing lights and the dashboards of our volunteers who had this city covered. City government can't do everything, but the Angels Night success is a good illustration of what happens when the resources of the city and the resources of the community come together. And for those who wanted to write a national narrative, and they come in from out of town every year, although we may have discouraged them this year, but to write about the problems in Detroit, they ended up leaving disappointed, and we want to make sure that happens again. And so we're asking everybody, please do what you can. Go to the angelsnight.org website. If you can come out and patrol the night, please do it. We got coffee and refreshments at various locations. It is like almost like a community reunion party as you go from center to center with the folks who are patrolling. If you can't get out of your house, sign up to watch a lot or a vacant building. But there are so many different things you can do. And at minimum, put your porch light on. And let's just make sure that we've done everything that we can. And on Halloween night, I'm just really pleased that the police department, the fire department, the rec department, and so many community groups have started to create positive activities for our children. And I hope people will look at the activities that are scheduled, participate that are those in your neighborhood, and every year that goes by, you're going to see us continue to build on the fun celebration aspect of Halloween, because for children, Halloween should be nothing but a fun time, and we're getting it back to that point in the city of Detroit again, and I hope people go on to the angelsnight.org website and sign up. And with that, we'll take any questions.
We're early in the recruitment process, but I believe each district is probably representing about 300 to 350 volunteers, and we pull from previous CB patrols and partners for Angel Night.
As a rule, I never talk about staffing. I'll just say that we are sufficiently staffed as we were last year. Nothing's changed.
So I will talk about some numbers. Normally, we operate 44 companies per day. This year, we'll be at 48. We're also going to have 11 investigative response teams paired with the police department, and I won't talk about his numbers since he won't talk about the numbers, but but there you have it.
But that is the one area we aren't going to be shy about. Not only are there extra fire equipment on the road to respond more quickly, but all of our arson investigators and building fires in this city are down 30% from 2 years ago. That's all fires. That's a function of our demolition program, and it's a function of the fact that the police and fire department now have a unified arson investigation team, and now every arson is getting investigated. But our investigators are out on site, and they will be on the site of any suspicious-looking fires almost immediately. And so this kind of response, I think, has discouraged people. It certainly did last year. Yeah, that happens all the time. So we have a program in this city that any neighborhood group that wants to board up homes, the city will deliver plywood for free to the site. And we have hundreds of board-up events organized by community groups really every single week. So that goes on year-round, and I don't know that there'll be any more this week than we have all the time. But anytime you want to see a board-up party, you can talk to our district managers. I'm sure they've got a number scheduled for this weekend as well.
Can you talk a little more about the national conversation you discussed earlier? People come in from across the world really to gawk at our fires on Angels Night, and there hasn't been as much. Have you heard from those people?
I heard from a couple the last time saying we're not coming back. So maybe they'll move on to someplace else. But we all remember Chafitz's book and how depressing it was for the image of the city of Detroit nationally. And it was really emotionally powerful for me last year to drive night after night and see all the volunteers and not see any fires. I think we're heading in the right direction. You've got a lot of neighborhoods where people feel like their neighborhood is coming back, and they were out patrolling, they were out watching. There was a level of vigilance we haven't seen in this city in years, and it was a source of real pride last year. But we know as soon as we relax, that's when you start to have problems. And so nobody around here is relaxing. We're remaining vigilant, and we hope to have another successful year. All right. Thank you all very much for being here.